You open the tooth with. What burr would the doctor use to open a tooth with?
A pointy one?
A pointy one. Good job. Yes. It's called carbide. Usually it's 330. If the doctor wants to remove soft tooth structure, what kind of burr would the doctor use to remove the soft tooth structure with? A little tiny latch round in a slow speed. Okay, when we set up doctor's trays, we always want their stuff to be pointing away from them because they have this issue with getting themselves caught on their stuff. So, yay, yay, yay. All right, I am right-handed, so I need my mirror on my left, my floor on my right. So good. So we are going to start with the hardest area, okay? The hardest area is the upper left. The reason why it's the upper left is because your doctor is needing indirect vision in the mirror. So we are going to have to constantly keep
the cheek open?
Well, not so much the cheek open as it is air on the mirror so that it doesn't fog up. Okay?
This one or is where air?
We're not looking. Yep.
Oh yeah, this one doesn't work.
Oh, well, here. You are more than welcome to use this bad boy. Okay, so now when we're doing a filling, you're going to need your high vac.
It's on your chair. There you go.
And your air water syringe.
You're good.
There we go.
Okay, so when we're working in the upper left quadrant, the bevel of the suction goes towards the tooth that you're working on, okay? This is what's going to keep your cheek retracted, okay? So while you're holding this there, then go ahead and put it in there just like that. Okay, we're going to say that we're going to work on tooth number 12, so we're going to keep it at tooth number 13. Then your air water syringe, you're either going to go under or over to keep
Your mirror clean.
the mirror clean. Okay? So good,
then
right?
What I did with water or the air?
So if there's lots of debris, like when they're using their handpiece, there'll be debris and water. So if you see that there's a buildup of debris, you might want to do a little squirt of water and then keep your air on. So may I have the bite block, please? Nope, let her do it. But thank you. So we're going to do the bite block on the opposite side. Open this bad boy up. Okay, and then we're going to do isolation, so we need a dry angle on this side.
Can I put this down?
Yep. And there's going to be times that your air water syringe don't work. So when it's on your tray, you don't need to use the cotton pliers. You can just use your hands because you're dirty. Okay, so and then pull this back and put it in there. So now when we're doing this area, we want it to come to the front of whatever tooth we're working on. So right now we're going to be working on 12, so we want to come it to the front there. We'll put that right there. All right, and the water's on here. Pardon me. Water's on. This guy. All right. I'm going to put the Explorer back.
You're not sprayed water.
All right. Okay, go ahead and position your suction. Okay, and put some air on the mirror. Okay, now a steady stream of air. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now your suction needs to go to up on the gum tissue a little bit more. There you go. Okay, now go ahead and spray off the tooth and dry the tooth. So good. All right. So we are going to say our tooth is prepped. Okay, make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So now the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to check to make sure that the caries has all been removed. So what instrument would we use next?
The Explorer?
Okay, so the perio probes for gum tissue. You should have a spoon.
We were messing around with it right here.
That's the carver.
Oh.
I don't think they have a spoon.
They do have a spoon, I see it.
That one or this?
That's a flat. There you go.
Hmm.
So this
This could be us at externship site.
is going to be, so it goes Explorer, perio probe, spoon, then the burnisher, or then the condenser, burnisher, carver, flat, and then carver. Okay, so this checks for soft tooth structure manually. Otherwise, we use carie indicator and it does a dye. Okay, then when we place the composite material, we condense it in. Then we burnish it. If we're doing an anterior, then we use our flat instrument to condense it in and shape it. And then we use the carver to carve the anatomy in.
Okay. Condense, burnish, and then carve.
Yep. Okay, so doctor's gonna come over here. Now, you still need to, you don't need to suction, but you still need to apply air because the patient is breathing and they're fogging up the mirror. Okay, so you still need to apply that stream of air. And so doctor's gonna check to make sure there's all hard tooth structure. Yay. And then it's gonna give back your instrument and go ahead and take your pinky. Take it with your pinky. There you go. And you can put it down.
Oh, wait.
Nope, you gotta keep your, go ahead and keep your stuff in your hand.
Okay, so then I...
Go ahead and reach over and just put your instrument down. Okay, so now what is the next step? What are we gonna do?
So you just check for soft tissue?
Okay, so we checked, we make sure we're at hard tooth structure, we're good to start filling the tooth.
Okay. So then... topical?
Oh, we already passed that. He's already
okay,
numb.
I'm sorry. I'm like...
Yeah, nope, we already passed that. He's already numb. We just drilled on the poor guy.
Oh, okay. So
So
then we're gonna bond.
we're gonna matrix system.
Oh, matrix system.
Yep. Okay, so now we can put our stuff down.
Shoulda known. You guys can volunteer and like just
You
say
guys
something,
can
okay? Because
Volunteer and. Okay, so we're gonna use the bean system. Okay, so with the bean system, grab this little tab
So how do I pass that?
like this. Okay, and then you pass it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold it down like this. Okay, and then you're gonna bring it over here, and then doctor's gonna take it, and then they're gonna drop it
in the
because we drop it, and then he's gonna replace it, and then he's gonna put it in between the teeth like this. Give it to me. And then sometimes it doesn't fit, so then he's gonna put it down. He's gonna be like, "Can I please have some floss?"
So you don't need to use a top.
Don't have floss. It's in there.
Excuse me?
Good.
It's the big
Grab
thing.
the whole container.
Okay,
Yep.
well I need to grab it with my whole hand.
Yep, because you're gonna have to wash it off now, anyways.
So you just
That
knock it
looks
out.
like such a fancy floss container.
I know it's the best, and it's way cheaper than the other stuff.
Ladies.
What?
So let's put the ledge first.
There we go. Okay, that's kind of nasty.
I'm sorry, you have your
And put that guy in there like that. Come on. Good gosh, you got tight contacts, dude.
Maybe we should remove his wisdom teeth.
Right? They're pushing on it. Okay. Over the down that way. Unsawed. All right, so now let's do the ring and the forceps. Awesome. So you're gonna hold it like that. Awesome, good job. And see how it faces the upper? So then, look side. Does not like me.
It didn't like me either.
I don't think this thing likes anybody.
I don't think so either.
Breaks his tooth.
Ow, see? That's why we have our hair up and back.
And that's why you point the instruments away from you.
Right?
Just take an eye full of like burnishers.
Okay, so now you have 2 sets of forceps. Those are the same thing. Now may I have, should I give this back to you? Wedge, please. And then switch it around in your hand so you're delivering. Good job. So now, wedges, do you see how it's shaped? The flat side goes against the gum tissue. The pointed side goes towards the occlusal of the teeth. So when we deliver it this way. And depending on your doctor, is depending on how they want it delivered. Sometimes they want it this way, sometimes they want it this way. It just depends. And then that is supposed to go in between the teeth, but I don't think this bad boy is going to happen. So guess what? I guess he's got some really awesome contacts, so we don't even need a wedge. Yay! All right. So now what's the next step? Okay, so we got our matrix system on. We're going to use a 3-step system.
So we need to etch.
So etch, awesome.
And how would I pass this?
You hold on to the working end and pass your sponges just like that. And then while the etch is setting, you can put a drop of your primer and a drop of your bond in your dapping dish.
So this was white and that was blue. I think there's already in there.
So white goes in 1, black goes in 2. When you open materials and you're mixing materials, do 1 at a time. You do not want to mix up your lids. Some people mix up lids. Even when lids are different colors, they mix up lids. I don't know why.
I want it to look fancy.
Right? Just do 1 at a time. And remember, this stuff is the liquid gold. It is expensive. So now you have 2 different brushes. Go ahead and close your thing because it's
Light sensitive.
light sensitive. Okay, so I'm going, when I hand this back to you, you're going to hand me the first brush with the primer, okay? When you hand me the first brush with the primer, that dish is going to be in your left hand, that brush is going to be in your right hand, and you're picking this up with your pinky.
So this is going to be in my left hand,
Mm-hmm.
and then,
The dish is going to be in your right hand. Okay.
okay.
So you're going to pick this up with your pinky. You're going to give me the brush.
Oh, I would pass it the other way?
So like this.
Okay.
And then you're going to bring this over this way. And you're going to open it. But you're going to cover up the bond. Okay. So then, I totally forgot. We got to rinse off edge first. Scratch that. See what happens when you don't do this for a while? So, with edge, turn on your section. And you're going to get right on top of that tooth, just like that. And then go ahead and rinse, rinse, rinse. Okay, and then dry. And then go to the back of the mouth and suction anything that's hanging out back there. Yay, okay. And then go ahead and pull out. All right, now we can go ahead and do the bond, the primer and bond. So downstairs, they etch and bond. They do not prime. So now we come over here. This is all dry, so we're gonna prime. And Dr. May wants some more. See how I'm fulcruming on it? We always fulcrum. Okay, and then hand that back. And then grab the other brush.
Like this one.
Yep. So now we bond. Okay, now you can put these down and grab the light. Okay, now you come in and cure.
Is that no.
Look into the light.
I know, right? Let's see here, Wise. What are we doing, dude? There you go. Okay. So 20 seconds, Woohoo. So what do I have wrong on me?
No,
You have the
There you
glasses.
go. That's right. I'm like all crap because I just felt something when I was thinning out the material. I just felt it come up towards my eyes. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. This is why you wash your hands, put on your gloves, put on your gloves, or you wash your hands, put on gloves, you put on your goggles, and then you put on your gloves. You just don't take your goggles off.
Are there offices that will require, even if you're wearing glasses, to put even another layer of goggles on?
Because of the shape of our goggles,
That's
how
dirty
they
now, so
taper
what I keep
towards
that
our
here.
face more.
I should just wear contacts then.
Just like, yeah.
Okay, so what's next?
Possibly. I think I would go like that way. But
The-
you don't have room on that.
Correct.
I thought
So
it was
then
the,
I would
cr-
press
the
So you hold
Working in.
that, and then we'll go like this. And you would have the cap off, you would have the material all the way down to the tip, okay? And then take off just the edge to take any dried stuff off. Then they put it in. We're pretending we're putting it in, we're not really putting it in. Now, the next thing is the condenser. So you would go back and get the condenser.
Is that one right?
So
And so you would pick this up. You could pick it up with that hand and deliver this. And then we condense. Now we're gonna go to a burnisher. So
Oh.
how would you transfer?
oh no. I'm like
No, you're okay. Okay. Good job. Burnisher. Do. Okay, carver. Okay, you're giving yourself too much work. Okay, every time you tip your wrist, too much work. Okay, so hold it at that end. Okay, pick up, deliver. Do it again. Do it again. Do your little flip it
I
thing.
tried.
Pick up, deliver. Flip your thing.
I still can't work my pinky.
That's okay. Okay, got it? All right. Okay, so now I need the Explorer.
Oh,
Hold on, you gotta get on the other end. Okay, we're gonna clean off any extra material. Yay. Okay, now you would cure.
Look into the light.
I know, Dory, don't look into the light, Dory.
Pretty lights.
Okay, yeah, that was fun, 20 seconds. Okay, so now you're gonna take the Explorer back. And
oh
you
I just
can,
stabbed you.
that's okay. Now we're going to, wait, nope, I'm wrong. We're gonna remove the matrix system. So I need the forceps. Awesome, good job. And then that just popped right out. But I'm gonna hand this to you anyways, and we're gonna pretend that's still in there. Go ahead and grab the cotton pliers are great. That was a good go-to, but grab the hemostats because this matrix has composite material stuck to it. So that goes back to you. We're just going to take off this matrix system.
Oh, I passed that up. So wrong.
And then technically they pulled this out, and then you take that, and now everything's all done. So you can have this back. So now we're going to adjust the bite. To adjust the bite, they use a gold or a diamond, sometimes it's gold, a diamond football. So indirect vision. Okay, pull your air water syringe back a little bit. Rotate your bevel. There you go. Okay, hold it a little bit up, just like that. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go underneath you. Come here. So your air water syringe back just a little bit. There you go. Right about there. So good. Yay. Okay, we adjusted the bite.
It just grabs the patient's tonsils.
Right, let's rinse off that tooth a lot more. We got some more stuff on it. So good. All right, so we cleaned out all the excess. May I have the articulating paper? I'm gonna take this out.
Would you like a new one?
Nope, because that thing jabs their cheek when it's in sometimes. Look at that. Great bite. Woohoo! You can have that back. And I have the floss over here, so floss contacts. Oh, look at that. See, this is the click. 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 Okay, gotta have a click. You can have that back. All right, what do we tell them? What's their post-op care?
Oh, wow.
You want salt and water?
Mhm.
Rinse.
Ibuprofen or Tylenol is needed for discomfort. Warm
Yeah.
salt water rinses for their gum
The
tissue.
anesthesia will wear off within like 4 to 6 hours.
Nope.
Not really?
Nope. The anesthetic wears off when the anesthetic wears off. If you tell
Oh.
them a specific time, they'll freak out if it's longer, and they'll be happy if it's shorter, but then later on if something happens. So, anesthetic will wear off, when it's wear. I tell them that I've heard through the grapevine that if you drink citrus, that can help your anesthetic wear off, or if you go do cardio, like if you go run,
To get the blood rushing.
that can help the anesthetic wear off.
But then you're running and then you bite yourself.
Yeah, let's not.
Bite your lip, give yourself a canker sore.
So, ibuprofen or Tylenol is needed for discomfort. Warm salt water rinses. Monitor your bite and call us if you have any concerns. Okay, so this is pretty much the process. The only thing that changes is the matrix system and the teeth. That's it. What tooth you're doing and the matrix system. Now, suctioning. Can I just have your big suction for a minute? So, suctioning, upper left goes right along this side, okay? Lower left goes along this side, okay? Doctor is responsible for the tongue. If you are doing the lower left, the doctor is responsible for the tongue, okay?
For suctioning the tongue or?
For retracting the tongue,
Retracting,
getting it
okay.
out of his way. That's his responsibility, not yours, okay? You cannot get over there because
We're gonna
you're
block him.
crossing the field that he's working in, okay? So that's their responsibility. Now, there are tricks where assistants can do that, but I'm not teaching you guys those because it's not your responsibility. When you get older in your career field and you want to do that, there is a way you can use your air water syringe to help, but
Poke their tongue? Just move.
yeah,
Poke,
you,
poke.
you kind of go, but you have to go like underneath the doctor's handpiece while they're working
Oh, that
and be
sounds-
able to retract the tongue without hitting doctor and interrupting what he's doing. I'm not going to show you guys that. Just, it's not your responsibility. Now, on the other side though, when you do the lower right side, it is your responsibility, okay? So if you got the Hulk in your chair and his tongue is really strong, that's why we have 2 mirrors on our tray. We have 2 mirrors because you're not only going to suction, But you might be holding back that tongue with a mirror. Your air water syringe might not do it. You might not be able to do it with your air water syringe.
Because it's pretty flexible.
So you use the mirror, but that tongue is your responsibility on the lower right side, okay? On the upper right side, you're towards the palatal area, and that tongue might come up, and that is your responsibility to keep that tongue down, okay? When you're working on the upper left, that's the doctor's responsibility to keep that tongue down, okay? So on the left, your responsibility is the cheek, and the doctor's responsibility is the tongue. On the right, his responsibility or her responsibility is the cheek, your responsibility is the tongue, okay? Awesome. Questions, comments, concerns, daily jokes? Did you guys make it out a lot more than what you thought it was going to be?